Welcome to the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast. I am your host, Steve Robinson, and you already know I'm grateful for you. I am grateful for everyone that listens, everyone that likes, everyone that leaves a review. Even if you don't leave a review, if you just listen to it or share it with somebody else, I am truly grateful for you. I'm grateful to be here. Today is November the 10th. 10 days into the Made Up Mind Challenge. I have 11 days to go, and if you're not familiar with it, the Made Up Mind Challenge is basically something I started to talk about the power of a made-up mind. So for the next 21 days, and actually I only have 11 left, I'm doing a podcast every day and making sure I'm hitting the gym every day for the next 11 days because we got 10 down. So I'm super duper grateful for that, and give me a hand clap for that. And if you're doing the challenge, give yourself a hand clap for being able to do what you've been doing for the last 10 days. We got 11 days to go, especially as we're getting ready to go into Thanksgiving. So let's continue to stay on this great track. Today I have Johnnie Davis. Johnnie Davis is a success coach and wealth building expert. He's also the author of the book I'm Still Here. You can find that on imstillherethebook.com. Also, he's a success coach, like I said, and a wealth building expert. And you can find that, you can log on to that website at successwithjd.com. That's successwithjd.com. Now, this podcast is going to be broke up into two parts. It's probably about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, but I broke it up into two parts so you can listen to it as you wish, whenever you feel like it. But also, listen, right now you can go on his website, imstillherethebook.com, and get a free copy of his 10 key principles to being and staying job free. So that's a throw in for you to log on to the website, get a free copy of the 10 key principles to be and stay job free. Now, I'm not going to hold it up too much longer. Oh, yeah, listen. Make sure that you are logging on, liking, leaving a review. Leave me a review. Let me know what's going on. Send me an email. Talk to me. I need it. So, without further ado, we're going to talk about with his faith and mental toughness. Now, listen, I'm not going to go too far into it, but I am. But I'm not, but I am, but I'm not, but I am, but I'm not. So here it is. Johnnie was clinically dead for over 15 minutes. Now, this is real life, or 15 minutes. So he's clinically dead, gone, for real. So tune into this story. It's broken up into two parts, and I will see you on the other side. Have a super day. Welcome to the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast. I am your host, Steve Robinson. As always, I am super duper grateful for you. Again, every Monday and Thursday, we will serve as lead changes to empower you in your now, discussing life topics from personal to business, and to assist you to lead the change you want to see in yourself and others around you. So let's begin to get empowered. Today I have a real special guest in a lot of ways. We're going to talk about a couple different things with life, and what better person to bring on to talk about life than this author, success coach, and wealth builder expert, Johnnie Davis. And I want to welcome him to this episode because, like I said, I'm extremely excited to get into this, talk about a couple things that he has going on, the book. He's a graduate of Rutgers University out of New Jersey in business. And also we want to talk about a lot of stuff that he has going on. So I don't want to spill too much of it now, but let's go ahead and welcome him to the show. So welcome, Brother Johnnie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we're basically, Johnnie, what we want to do is find out a little bit about you. I want my visitors to know, my listeners to know a little bit about you. You can tell us a little bit about yourself, especially what you work in now. And I'm definitely anxious to get to the one question, but let's go ahead and let you talk a little bit before I jump into that.
All right, awesome. Well, again, as you said, my name is Johnnie Davis, and I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey. I actually relocated here to Charlotte, North Carolina, back in March of 2005, and I love it. I love living here in the South, and the thing that brought me here was, I retired from corporate America at age 31 years old, and I came here in 2005 to really take advantage of the inexpensive cost of living, and someone told me that the streets were paved in gold here, so I got on the first flight, just just came straight here. I am a network marketing veteran. I entered into the industry of network marketing back in 1996. And as I mentioned before, I actually retired from the industry of corporate America at age 31 years old. And since then, went on to become now more of a success coach. And what I do is I actually help people transform their lives and go from where they are right now to where they desire to be. I help in the area of behavioral conditioning. And the thing is that really oftentimes stops people or prevents people from reaching their full potential is something that I teach on, and it's called the identity, and it's also called your belief. And you hear the phrase that if you can believe it, you can achieve it all the time. But it's, for most people, it's just a cliche. It's not who they are. It's not their identity. And so I really delve into providing strategies and providing the concepts that they need in order for them to really reinforce that belief and really tap into the belief and help bridge the gap between belief and identity so that they're one. Because once that happens, then the life transformation can take place. So I specialize in the area of success coaching, wealth building, and also life transformation.
Okay, now Johnny, that's real good, and you touched on a couple things about the concepts that you reinforce, about the belief, and how people pick a niche of that. And I really want to expand on that because normally what I like to ask a lot of my visitors is guests that come on is what's a success story or something that's happened to you. But I can't get no further than to right now to ask this. Now you have a super interesting story about suffering a cardiac arrest that rendered you clinically dead for 16 minutes. Now, this is not one of those things where, it's fake. You were clinically gone for 16 minutes, and this was back in 2012. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so let me know a little bit about that. I mean, there's the success story is that story. So to bring me through that, talk me through that.
Well, just to give you the quick version of it, in 2012, December 20, actually Christmas Eve of 2012, I actually suffered sudden cardiac arrest at 3 o'clock in the morning. My wife and I, we were sleeping, and she said that I reached over and shook her. And I don't recall doing it, but she said I reached over and shook her, and she thought I was having a bad dream, so she was calling my name, Johnny, 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 wake up, wake up. And I didn't respond. And so she turned on the lights and saw that my eyes were rolling in the back of my head. And she immediately called 911, and they told her what to do as far as, administering CPR. And my wife was a former nursing student years ago. So thank God her nursing instincts clicked in. And, she didn't run out of the house like most people probably would have in a panic, screaming, help, 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 my husband's having a heart attack. She went right into CPR mode, and she began administering chest compressions on me. She said that she counted maybe over 1,000 chest compressions that she did on me, but only to witness me take my last breath and die. There was a period of over 16 minutes when I had no pulse, I had no oxygen going to my brain. And so if anyone knows anything about oxygen deprivation to the brain, anything over 4 minutes, you're talking about permanent brain damage. And so for me, over 16 minutes, not only should I not be alive, I shouldn't be here talking to you. If I were to still be alive, I should be a vegetable. In fact, that's what they told my wife on Christmas Day, that because there was so much time that elapsed without him having oxygen to the brain, that the Johnny that you knew before is not going to be the Johnny Davis. He's if he survives this, he's more than likely going to be a vegetable, and you're going to have to be his caregiver. And so, my wife and I, we had just gotten married 2 years prior. We were actually heading into our third year of marriage. And so our lives were turned upside down just with the flick of a switch. I mean, we went from really riding high and enjoying one another and just living life high on the hog, if you will, to fighting for my life, and she being told that if I did survive, that she was going to have to be my caregiver. And so
Wow.
at 40 years old, I had no idea that my life would actually take this direction and turn into this direction. And so miraculously, I spent 9 days in the hospital. I spent 2 days in a medically induced coma on Christmas Day. Unbeknownst to me, I had so many people all around the world that were praying for me. There was this prayer chain on Facebook that reached as far as Afghanistan. I had some fraternity brothers of mine that were in the military at that time, and they were praying for me. And I had no idea any of this was going on. And on 11:53 on Christmas Day, my wife, everyone was praying for a Christmas miracle. She was praying for a Christmas miracle, and through the power of prayer, power of belief, I miraculously awoke at 11:53 p.m. before Christmas Day ended, and from that point on, that whole experience just kind of put me on a pathway to it introduced me to what my true purpose and my true vision for my life uh, is and was. Up until that point, I thought I knew I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought that I had a purpose. I thought that I knew what my vision was. Um, but it was clear that just because I was good at doing something
Hmm.
doesn't necessarily mean that that's what I was born to do. Um,
Wow.
you can be you can have multiple talents, but not necessarily that doesn't necessarily mean that those things are your purpose. And I was reintroduced. I was introduced to my purpose via this life-altering sudden cardiac arrest. So that's what transpired back then. Today, by the grace of God, my heart, for the first time in 10 years, is functioning normally. My health has been completely restored. My body's been transformed. And my heart is just as strong as yours right now. Even though I still have my defibrillator pacemaker in my chest, my heart is functioning normally. So I have no physical restrictions on what I can do or the things that I do. And I'm just honored and blessed to be alive. And today I am a living, breathing, just human gratitude. That's the best way
Wow.
that I can describe myself. Every single day I wake up and I'm living in a space of intense gratitude just to be alive. So um, that's my story as far as that goes.
Wow, that says a lot. The human gratitude, that's real key right there. Human gratitude. And so Johnny, talking to my listeners, being that this is the lead change empowerment, which is empowering people from where they are now, we know that everyone is not going to have that type of well, hopefully no one else, no one has that type of life change, altering event to happen. But for those of us who are into those moments now, or trying to find that true purpose, how does one begin to look to find what their true purpose or what their true calling is looking like? What does that look like?
Well, first, I have to refer to a mentor of mine, God rest his soul, Dr. Miles Monroe. He and I, we had a conversation many, many years ago in the Bahamas. And he shared with me, he said, Johnny, whatever it is that makes you angry, that's probably more than likely what you were born to solve. You know,
Wow.
everybody that's living today was born to solve a particular problem.
Hmm.
And when you think about what is it that makes you angry, what is it that gets you upset, that is more than likely the area where your expertise is needed. That's the problem that you were born to solve. And so I would tell people first, let's start there. If you really think about it, and you have to really get to a place of clarity and really start to meditate and think about the things that really are that move you, from a deep spiritual, emotional standpoint. Every time you see it, it irks you. Like you feel like you have to do something about it. Let's get to that
Hmm.
place. Let's examine what that is. And once you have identified that, we can build on we could build upon that, because that's the foundation. And then really, really get clear on your vision.
Right.
What do you have? What is your vision for your life? What does that look like?